What if your job could kill you? Welcome to the dark side of overwork culture. This chilling question isn't a hypothetical for many workers around the globe, it's a harsh reality. In our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, the line between work and life often blurs. We're talking about overwork culture, a global trend where excessive work hours, high-pressure environments, and lack of work-life balance have become the norm. But we're not here to discuss your everyday work stress. We're diving into the extreme end of this spectrum, a phenomenon known as Karoshi, a Japanese term literally translating to death from overwork. Yes, you heard it right. Work-related stress and exhaustion so severe, it can cause fatal health problems. It's not an isolated incident or a rare occurrence, it's a systemic issue with roots deep in societal norms and expectations. And while overwork culture is a global issue, Japan stands out as one of its most extreme examples. In Japan, long work hours aren't just expected, they're ingrained in the fabric of society. The culture of ganbaru, or perseverance, often pushes workers to their limits and beyond, but at what cost? As we delve into this silent epidemic, remember it's not just about numbers, it's about lives. Lives of those who are caught in the relentless grind, sacrificing their health, happiness, and sometimes their very existence in the pursuit of productivity. To understand the overwork crisis, we must examine its roots. In the wake of the Second World War, Japan witnessed an unprecedented economic boom. This period of rapid growth, often referred to as the Japanese miracle, marked the rise of the salaryman culture. The salaryman, a white-collar worker committed to a single company for life, became the driving force behind Japan's economic recovery. This culture was deeply rooted in societal expectations and economic pressures. The ideal salaryman was not just an employee but a corporate warrior, loyal to his company to the point of self-sacrifice. He was expected to work long hours, often without overtime pay, and was judged not on his productivity, but on his dedication and endurance. After-work socializing was an unspoken requirement, further blurring the lines between professional and personal life. But what fueled this culture? Why did the salaryman willingly accept such a grueling lifestyle? The answer lies in Japan's societal structure and norms. The concept of giri, or duty and obligation, is deeply ingrained in Japanese society. It fosters a sense of loyalty and obligation towards one's employer. The company in return would provide lifetime employment and seniority-based promotions. This mutual commitment created a sense of security but also a pressure to conform to the demanding expectations of the salaryman lifestyle. Economic pressures also played a crucial role. In the competitive post-war economy, companies pushed their employees to work harder and longer to keep up with the competition. The salaryman, often the sole breadwinner, felt the burden to provide for his family, further fueling the culture of overwork. But as Japan's economy evolved, so did its workplace practices. The lifetime employment system began to crumble, and the economic bubble burst. Yet the culture of overwork persisted, the expectations remained, and the lines between work and life continued to blur. What started as economic necessity has transformed into a societal expectation, pushing people beyond their limits. Overwork doesn't just eat away at time, it consumes health, relationships, and ultimately, lives. In the relentless pursuit of productivity, the body and mind bear the brunt of the strain. Overwork, often glorified as dedication, can lead to severe physical health implications. The constant pressure, long hours, and lack of rest can increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. In fact, a study published in 2022 found that employees working more than 55 hours per week had a 35% higher risk of stroke compared to those working standard hours. But the damage doesn't stop at the physical. The mental toll of overwork is equally, if not more, devastating. The endless cycle of work and stress can lead to anxiety, depression, and other mental health disorders. The isolation from overwork can strain relationships, pushing individuals into a lonely existence marked by exhaustion and burnout. Behind these stark statistics are real people with real stories. Stories of individuals like Karoshi, a dedicated employee who collapsed at his desk after a 70-hour work week, or Yumi, a young professional who was diagnosed with severe depression due to work-related stress. Each story is a sobering reminder of the human cost of overwork. These are not isolated incidents. According to a government survey conducted in 2023, nearly 1 in 5 employees in Japan are at risk of death from overwork. This alarming statistic underlines the urgent need to address the issue of overwork and its devastating consequences. The impact of overwork culture is deeply ingrained in society, affecting not just individuals but also their families and communities. It's a ripple effect, where the consequences of overwork extend far beyond the workplace, impacting social relationships, family dynamics, and community well-being. The toll of overwork is not just a personal tragedy, it's a societal crisis. The cost of overwork is measured not just in lost hours and health issues, but in the loss of human potential, in broken relationships, and in the erosion of the quality of life. As we delve deeper into the issue of overwork, it's crucial to remember the human faces behind the statistics. Can a culture steeped in tradition and expectation change? We find ourselves asking this question as we turn our attention towards recent efforts to combat overwork culture in Japan. The Japanese government, recognizing the severity of this issue, has started to implement regulations aimed at curbing excessive working hours. The Work-Style Reform Law, enacted in 2019, caps overtime hours and sets penalties for companies that violate these rules. These changes show a commitment to addressing the issue at a systemic level. Simultaneously, corporations are also starting to shift their perspective. Some companies have begun to prioritize work-life balance, encouraging employees to leave on time and discouraging weekend work. A few have even introduced initiatives such as morning-focused work systems and no overtime days. Public awareness is also on the rise, with increased media coverage and advocacy groups shedding light on the dark side of Karoshi. The collective voice of the populace is growing louder, demanding a healthier approach to work. However, the journey towards change is fraught with challenges. Deep-rooted societal norms and expectations don't change overnight. There's also the economic reality of a country with a declining population and a shrinking workforce to consider. Yet, the stakes are too high for complacency. The human cost of overwork culture, the toll it takes on individuals and families, is a price too steep to continue paying. The path to change is steep, but the cost of inaction is far greater. Overwork culture isn't just a Japanese problem, it's a global concern. We've journeyed through the silent epidemic of Karoshi, tracing its roots deep within the societal norms and expectations. We've unveiled the human cost, the toll it takes on individuals and their families, and the ripple effects it sends through communities. We've also glimpsed at the changing tides, the emerging awareness, and the incremental steps being taken towards reform. Yet, there's a long road ahead. The importance of work-life balance cannot be overstated. It's a fundamental aspect of human well-being, a cornerstone of a healthy society. We need to collectively challenge and change the societal norms that glorify overwork. It's a daunting task, but not an insurmountable one. Remember, work is a part of life, not the other way around. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking content.